You can't play for the Dallas Cowboys, the $9 billion franchise,
about it.
the $1 billion playpen, the owner that's more popular than 99% of the players. You're getting more national pub than anything. As great as Micah Parsons is, how far off is Fred Warner from him?
Fred Warner's better at his position than Micah is at his.
What I'm trying to say to you is that we barely talk about him. We might talk about him the day after a game or the day leading up to a game, but Micah Parsons makes news. Why? Because you're a Dallas Cowboy. Right. You're right. The fact of the matter is you want the shine. Jerry Jones don't run from the shine. Jerry Jones don't run from the attention. They say what you want about him, but he knows who he is and he knows what level of attention he brings to the table, and he steps up and says, this is who it is. I embrace it. That's the point. If you're a Dallas Cowboy, you can't be whining and moaning about that. Dak Prescott is the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. You haven't measured up to snuff. We know you could play. We know you're not a scrub, but we need you to do better, and you haven't done better. So if I'm coming to that defense, I ain't buying it.
Let me say this, because for all the Cowboys in my DMs and in my comments, and Micah Parsons, who retweeted something I said on Get Up yesterday, you got to understand, you play with that star in your helmet, the expectations are different. They haven't won a Super Bowl since before you were born.
That's right.
Okay? You, Micah Parsons, are a generational talent.
That's correct.
But that does not offset the expectations and the failed expectations that come with your franchise. Like, that is part of the context. Now, that said, the bashing, the name calling of Dak, never. No.
Right,
Some of it, it is below the belt. That
totally.
I do not condone.
Neither do I.
To criticize Dak and his play, to criticize the team, that is totally allowed. And Micah, because you got your podcast, I get it. You want to talk? That's great. After the 49ers game, you're talking about, like, oh, if they want to make this personal, if they want to make the... It was personal. They beat you.
No.
Like he came up.
They whipped your ass.
And that's the problem. Like, you got to understand there's expectations and a context, and just because you don't like it doesn't make it any less true.
Go ahead.
I would say that, so real quickly, I think I'll take back that Fred Warner's better than Micah Parsons. I think they're both elite at their positions. Yes. Okay, I don't necessarily agree that the expectations in Dallas are different than they are in a Philadelphia or a St. One of the reasons is really good football team. So the expectations for all the really good teams in the NFL are pretty similar. I think the attention that those expectations get are different. That's just the reality. Too much is given, much is expected. That's just the reality of what playing for a very good football team that is the by far most popular football team is. It is very clear there's a line drawn when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. You either love the Dallas Cowboys or you hate the Dallas Cowboys. There is no in between. Part of that, Micah, is because you guys were on television for the last 50 years every Sunday. Everybody was
and
a Dallas.
every Thanksgiving.
So that is a unfortunate reality, but also a fortunate reality for the Dallas Cowboys. So I don't know if it's necessarily like it's unfair expectations. It's just that the attention that those expectations get are a little bit different.
He knows.
And the second thing I would say is this. It is our job to criticize everybody. But when the fan base is as big and as passionate as it is, we are going to talk about the Cowboys more than we are going to talk about other teams. That's just the nature of the business that we are in. That doesn't mean that it's fair. It's just the nature of the business.
Why would you want to run from this smoke?
Hello? Come on with it, D.
Why would you want to run from this smoke? You embrace it. I would, honestly, I would have loved to play for the Cowboys, too.
You got the attitude for it, yeah.
I embrace that. Let me finish this. Every week, almost every single day, who are we talking about? We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys get all of our attention. Whether they're doing well, whether they're doing bad, it doesn't matter. So if I'm a player, I want it all. I want all of that. I want all of that. I want it all.
Well, first of all, I agree with you. But secondly, Micah Parsons, in all seriousness, because, listen, every time, we see each other a few times a year, I got a lot of love for him. Yo, you're one of the elite young talents in this game.
Yep.
Don't run away from the media. Don't do that. Don't sit up there and say, well, I got nothing to say because you know what? Y'all didn't bring the same smoke to other teams that y'all brought to us. Well, they ain't you. They ain't your fan base. Rats, roaches, and Cowboy fans. I keep telling everybody, a nuclear bomb drop, you'll find one of the three. Why? Because they're everywhere, okay? That comes with a price. And by the way, it's a price worth paying because when you win, it pays off exponentially. And when you lose, Jerry Jones still finds a way for it to pay off.
All right. Let me talk. Why are you guys saying that he's running from it? And first of all,
He didn't talk to the media all last week.
okay, that's
No, he was explaining why he did it. What that sound, that sound right there,
so
he was explaining why he ran
so
up.
you're saying he's not, by not speaking to the media, that he's running from
You don't get to pick and choose.
No,
as a reporter,
I
you
thought
do
that's what
not
he was
get to
talking
pick and
about.
choose
It's not about the
when
media,
you
it's
talk
what
to.
he was saying, though. It's what he was
I
saying.
thought you were talking about this. Bring the same energy. I thought that's what you're talking about.
He's saying that he was upset after the win because we didn't hold the 49ers accountable.
Yes, that's what I'm speaking
when they
to.
lost. They didn't lose.
He's right.
No, I'm saying,
we don't bring the same energy. It's 100% right, Stephen A. We don't bring the same energy when the Eagles lose to the Jets
Most
as
teams
we
don't
with
bring
the
the same
Cowboys.
energy to Cowboys and their fan
But
base
the
win.
expectations are supposed to be even higher for Philly. He's just pointing out a hypocrisy.
No, it's not.
He's 100%
You're,
right.
You're totally wrong. You're totally wrong.
Are you kidding
The Philadelphia Eagles, when's the last time the Philadelphia Eagles won a Super Bowl?
2017.
Yes, 17.
How about that? Was the last time Dallas Cowboys won a Super Bowl?
Stephen A,
1995.
that Micah Parsons,
No, I'm not
wasn't
talking
even
about him.
I hate
But
when you
I'm
guys hold the history
Well,
against.
No.
When you hold the history against Micah Parsons, what happened in the 90s has nothing to do with him.
Because Micah has no recollection of 1995. It was before he was born.
Yeah.
But he has to understand when you put the star on, everything that comes with it, part of why there's so much attention around this team, why people get so frustrated by this team, is that they have great rosters and they find ways to still not meet expectations. That is part of the history. You can't run from that.
It comes with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could sit up there and lament the fact that it may not be fair, but it's our reality.
Okay, and you never call things out and you never clap back, because I know for a fact that you do.
But I like to.
Okay, so Micah Parsons likes to too. That's his jam. It's not my jam. It's yours and it's Micah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he's pointing to the fact that other people didn't get the same smoke. That's not what I do. That's not what you do. We accept the smoke that comes with being at the top of the heap.
There you go.
We accept it.
Yeah.
You don't sit up there and whine about it. This is what it is. And you either want it or you don't. That's what it is. Go play for someone else other than the Cowboys. See where that gets you. You know how much money they make in endorsements? You know how many opportunities come their way because they're wearing that star on the helmet? Why do you think Jerry Jones is hard with the negotiations? He's saying, wait a minute, I understand what you bring as a player, but wearing this star, being a part of this franchise, do you have any idea the opportunities that come your way because you represent this franchise?
Of course,
There are
but
benefits that come with
guess what, Stephen A? Both things can be true. There can be hypocrisy, and there can be benefits to playing for the Cowboys.
But what makes it hypocritical?
Yeah.
Like, I agree that we
because we don't clown and we don't dance and do all the things when they lose to the Jets. We don't do that for Philly. In Philly, you could argue the expectations were higher. They were in the Super Bowl last year.
Because Philly's fan base isn't as annoying as the Cowboys fan base.
I'm
He's
not
100% right. So
I'm
he
not
has a podcast. If he wants to talk about it, talk about it.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with it's right. But I went on Monday and said I hadn't seen the Eagles' offensive line get whooped like that ever. That's if you can say I can't say that about the Dallas Cowboys offensive line, but I can say it about Philly. I had said that I haven't seen the San Francisco offensive line get whooped by Cleveland before, or by whooped like the way that Cleveland did to them. So like there's
people were mopping Dak's jersey.
That's
on
wrong.
the ground.
And that's
wrong. Okay, so that's the
separate.
kind of things that they deal with.
No,
so
Bobby, there's people burning Carson Wentz jerseys 4 years ago in Philadelphia.
Yes, they were.
Yeah.
That's
we can go tit for tat, but
point-
you're not going to sit here as for me as the host of First Take. You're not going to sit here and tell me that they don't take more criticism.
They do.
Of course,
Okay.
but they get more praise.
But
okay. So, like I said, both things can be true.
That's fair.
But you also can't
That's fair.
You can't complain
Yes,
about
that is fair.
publicly.
So we're both
But that's
right.
the world that they.
Should we, hug it out? Like how do you?
I don't want to talk
No,
to
why don't you go and hug it out?
That's not. But that's not the world.
I already
You don't
told
want to need to hug it out.
Here's
with
the
them?
I don't disagree.
Here's the question:
my thing
Are you
is-
able to go out in public as much as you want to? Are you able to go out in public as much as you want to without attention?
Oh no.
without
Okay, but you choose that
comes
life.
with
Yes.
the job.
It's part of the life that
That's
you
the job.
choose.
Everything that
Right,
comes
that's
with
my thing.
everything that comes with
when
this.
you with the
we accept
Cowboys,
it.
That's what you signed.
He happens to be one of the very best players in the NFL for one of the probably the most popular franchise.
I'm aware.
And I wasn't knocking him.
I'm aware of those
I wasn't
details.
saying
Thanks
that he
for sharing.
shouldn't talk to the media or whatever. What I'm saying is when you're pointing out what attention other people are not getting, wait a minute, what about the attention you are getting when it's positive?
Yeah.
I mean, you benefit tremendously from being a member of the Cowboys.
We all got love for Micah. Like, we all got love for Micah.
Exactly. That's all.
And Micah, like, keep being you, keep doing it your way. He brings up fair points about Dak Prescott.
I love that he's
100%.
defending his quarterback.
Well,
but there's also a context to that.
Forget his quarterback for a second. The fact is, some people are ignorant and they step behind the line. Nobody's condoning the personal stuff thrown in Dak Prescott's direction.
Right.
I don't think then we got to say that on national television that you're sorry, no good, you know what? If you sit up there and you get personal with Dak Prescott, I've seen some of the cruel things that people have said about him. They brought up his family, they brought up him historically and things of that nature. I'm like, wait a minute, you crossing the line. We talking football, nothing else. But as it pertains to football, that comes with it.
Right.
Yep.
And there's no member of the Dallas Cowboys that should be whining about anything related strictly to football. That's all I'm saying.
And there's this truth, too. There are, again, 50-50. People root for the Cowboys to lose and fall flat on their face more than they do other teams. That's just the unfortunate reality. That's just the reality for that situation. Whether it's fair or not, that's up for you to determine. But Micah got to keep being Micah.
Yes.
I'm done with this conversation.
Yeah, me too. I'm done.